guys. We're just going to shoot her open over here. I'll be back with you in like 2 minutes.
Good morning and welcome back to the Raven Golf Club at the beautiful Destin Golf and Beach Resort here in the Florida Panhandle. I'm Dan McDonald, glad to have you along with us with the third and final round of the Sun Belt Conference Women's Golf Championships. After 2 days, Coastal Carolina, the favored team, the number one seed going in, they had a close round their first round. It was very close to the top three teams. Yesterday, the Chanticleers pretty much established their dominance. They now hold a 23-stroke lead as we go into the third and final round. Their leading player, Marlene Krobel-Hansen, shot even par for the first two rounds. She had a nice 68 yesterday, coming back with her solid performance, and she now holds the individual lead in the tournament. The individual lead, though, is a lot closer, and that'll be determined as we go into play today. You see our individual leaderboard there with her at the top of the leaderboard, but only by a couple of strokes, and it's still anybody's ball game here in the final round of the Women's Golf Championships. Team title, don't know about it. If anybody's going to make a run at Coastal Carolina, it'll be because they're playing really well, and Coastal Carolina has to leave the door open for somebody to step in. But whatever happens at the end of today's play, we're going to crown a champion, and it will be on the 18th green here at the Raven Golf Club. Let's go to the action that's just about to begin at both the numbers 1 and 10 tees.
Next on the tee, from Texas State University, Sarah White.
Good luck, guys. Okay.
Next on the tee.
Her fourth shot here up at the green at number 1, and she's going to pace that off. She'll be hitting her fourth shot here at the first. That's one thing you can do here at the Raven Golf Club. You don't have to get very far off the fairway a lot of places in order to get yourself into trouble. As Thea Wakeford Westman with her par putt, and that one she would like to have back, as that one's going to slide off. And now she'll have this left for bogey. This again is Texas State's Sarah White. Was under the trees, had to just chip it out. And now this is her fourth shot coming up to the green, and that's going to check up a lot earlier than she wanted it to. So she's going to have a significant putt left to try to salvage bogey here at the first hole. So not the start that Sarah White wanted. We'll go back to number 10. And this is Thea Wakeford Westman with her bogey putt here. Gets that one to drop after not a good effort on her par putt. And now Olivia Landberg, who is just short of the green in 2. She'll have this to walk away with par at the first hole. We'll have coverage at numbers 1 and 10 until all the groups come through, and then we will head out on the golf course and try to give you an update on what's happening out there. Right now, a lot of action happening everywhere. As up on the number 1 green, that's Emma Miller of Arkansas State in the top right of your screen. Just had her long birdie putt. At the bottom of your screen, Olivia Landberg of ULM tapping in for par, and she'll take a par here at the 10th hole. Second group just hit off of our first tee. And they are on their way down the fairway. That group includes Natalie Peterson of Georgia Southern, Shakika Singh of Texas State, and Sarah Childers of Arkansas State. You see them at the top left of your screen heading down the number 1 fairway. We'll go back over, or a little farther down, to the number 1 green at the top right of your screen. This is Sarah White, and this is her bogey putt after she found the woods on the right side. Playing partner Sarah Noonan of Georgia Southern in front of her was waiting to putt, as White's putt's going to come up off to the left, and it's going to roll about 5 feet past, and she's got that left for double bogey. So a tough start for Sarah White of Texas State. And now Sarah Noonan of Georgia Southern. She has this for a birdie to start things off. Check that. She has this for par. She found the bunker with her tee shot. Her par putt is going to lip out, almost save that par, but she'll have about 3 or 4 feet left for her bogey. So a double, a bogey, and a par putt for that threesome, as we'll go up toward the number 10 green, Lucy Owen of Little Rock. And she has... she's found her ball came to rest next to the rake there next to the bunker. So the rake might have saved her from going in, as she'll have that for her third shot up here close to the green in a group with Charmaine Rapasura of ULM. As Lucy Owen, the junior from Waipawa, New Zealand, shot 81 yesterday, improved by 4 shots over her first round. Quickly we'll go down to the number 1 green, and this is the double bogey putt for Sarah White of Texas State after she found the woods on the right side with her second shot. And her double bogey putt slides by, so an unfortunate triple for Sarah White here at the first hole. Playing partner Emma Miller of Arkansas State waiting. She has that little bit left for her par here at the first. Back to the 10th hole. And this is Ashton Mataloni of ULM. We'll go farther down, number 10, and this is her teammate, Charmaine Rapasura, with her third shot here at the 10th green. Came up a little bit short with her approach. Her third's rolling up nicely just past the pin, and she'll have that left for her par. Lucy Owen, her playing partner, also putting for par after she came up just short of the bunker here at the 10th. Back to the first hole. This is Emma Miller for par. Nope, check that. Not Emma Miller. That is Sarah Noonan for her bogey, as Emma Miller made her par putt just a moment ago, and they will head on to the second hole. And we will go back to the number 10 green. And this is Lucy Owen, who is looking at a par putt after she maybe got a little bit of a fortunate break when her second shot came to rest against the bunker rake. Might have saved her from rolling in. Owen playing in the number 4 position for Little Rock today. Came into the tournament with an 80.3 scoring average. She had a low round of 71 this year. She's been a 3-year member of the Little Rock team. And being from New Zealand, you know she probably has rugby in her background, and yes, she does. She also played soccer and golf during her high school career, along with participating in rugby, as her putt's going to slide by the left side, and she will settle for bogey here at the 10th. Runs her putt in, and Charmaine Rapasura of ULM just has that little bit left for par here, as we'll go back to the first hole. This is Natalie Peterson of Georgia Southern, playing in a group with Shakika Singh of Texas State and Sarah Childers of Arkansas State. Peterson shot 74 the opening round, then moved up to an 84 in the second round. She is safely on the green and will have that for birdie here at the first hole. All three of our players look like they have hit their approach shots here at the first, and this being the second group from these three schools. And we will go back to the 10th hole. And this is Perneely Orlean of Little Rock. Third group, third set of twosomes playing here on the 10th hole. Orlean, back-to-back 81s for a 162 total in the tournament. She's tied for 39th going into the final round. Her third appearance in the Sun Belt tournament, as you see action going on all over the first and the 10th holes. As Orlean shot on the bottom right of the screen, her second shot into the number 10 green, and she's found some trouble on the, she's on the green, there it is, and rolling back a little bit toward the pin, so she'll have that left for her birdie here, and you see the ball still rolling back toward the green. Up at the top left of your picture, that's Ann Charlotte Mora of Texas State. Check that. That's Soup, our defending champion, who just hit her tee shot here at the 10th. Ella Ostedal of Georgia Southern just previously hit her tee shot, and this is Grayson Gladden on the top left corner from Arkansas State. Grayson with an 80-77 her first 2 rounds. Solid 77 yesterday. She stands in 28th place, right in the middle of the pack, going into the final round individually. Down on the number 1 green, top right, that's Sarah Childers, who has a long birdie putt at the first, and not going to break enough, but a nice lag up, and Sarah Childers has a tap-in par for her first hole. As the third group heads down the fairway here at number 1, and we'll go back to the number 1 green. This is Natalie Peterson of Georgia Southern. Freshman from Holly Springs, North Carolina, had a 78.48 stroke average through the regular season, low round of 71. She shot a 67, her best round during her high school career at Holly Springs High. And her birdie putt is headed straight at the hole and just bends away at the last second and slides by the right edge, and she'll have that left for par. Sarah Childers' mark is just about a foot away, and she'll have basically a tap-in par, and Shakika Singh is the third member of this group, and she will have this putt left as we'll go over to number 10. And this is Ashton Mataloni with her third shot approach. That's going to come back to her just a little bit. We'll go up to the number 10 tee. And this is Scarlett Eaton of ULM with her tee shot. Scarlett had a 77 first round. Jumped up to an 83 yesterday, tied for 33rd individually, playing with Emily Blennow of Little Rock, who's already hit her tee shot. Back to the number 1 green. Shakika Singh just missed her par putt, and she'll have just a little bit of work left for, oh, check that. That was a birdie putt for her. And she'll have that left for par. Sarah Childers with just a little bit more than a tap in for her par. Number 1 hole has given up only 5 birdies through the first 2 rounds. Childers at the top right cans her par putt, while at the number 10 green, that was Pernille Orlean of Little Rock, who slid her birdie putt well by. Actually, that was a par putt. Now she's got this left for bogey. As at the top right of your screen, Natalie Peterson of Georgia Southern has this left for par. Bottom right, as Peterson gets her par to drop, Ashton Mataloni of ULM has this left for par. Ashton had an 85 in the first round, improved to an 82 in yesterday's second round for the junior from Eclectic, Alabama. So we go over to number 1, and this is Shakika Singh of Texas State. Has this left for par in the second group out off of number 1. Rolls that par putt in. And in the fairway behind them, the third grouping of Georgia Southern, Texas State, and Grayson and Arkansas State, as we'll go back to the number 10 green. Pernille Orlean of Little Rock, the senior from Lorenskog, Norway, has this left for par. And rolls that one in, bangs it in the back of the cup. She'll walk away with a par here at the 10th. Ashton Mataloni of ULM has already finished off play there at the 10th, as we'll go back to the number 1 fairway in our third group. This is Georgia Southern's Ansley Bowman, who came up short of the bunkers and is having to play over one of those pine trees. And what a nice shot from there. That's a long iron she hit to that spot, and she's behind the hole and has about 15 feet left for birdie here at the first hole. In the middle of the fairway, this is Ann Charlotte Mora. Nope, sorry, I'm getting a group ahead again. This is Sassakarn Sambunsup, as that was actually Ella Ostadal of Georgia Southern who just hit that nice shot to the green. Sassakarn Sambunsup is our defending individual champion, but has struggled yesterday. Shot 72 the first day, but then shot 84 yesterday. Really struggled for a player of her caliber. Tied for 26th going into the final day with a nice shot here on her approach, though, and she'll have that for birdie. And the third member of this group is Grayson Gladden of Arkansas State, as we head back over to number 10. And this is the second shot from Emily Blenau, I believe, of Little Rock. And she'll have that left for par. Quickly back to the first. And Grayson Gladden of Arkansas State. Grayson had an 80 in the first round, improved to a 77 in the second round, the sophomore from Helena, Alabama. Her second shot in on this dogleg left, and it's a nice one also. So 3 birdie putts for this grouping, the number 3 pairings for these 3 schools, and they'll all have birdie runs at it here at the first, as we'll go back out to the 10th hole. And this is Emily Blenau of Little Rock. She gets set to hit from the fairway here at number 10, playing in a pairing with Scarlett Eaton of UL Monroe. Blenau improved her score by 7 shots, had a very disappointing 84 in her first round. Improved it to 77 yesterday, tied for 36th individual. You see our twosome here, our number 2 players for these 2 teams playing in twosomes today. And the third shot up slides past the pin, and it's going to roll about 10 feet past. So Blenau will have that for par. Go back to the first tee. And this is Ansley Bowman, I believe, of Georgia Southern, just hitting off the first tee in the top left corner of your screen. And now Ann Charlotte Moore. I've been trying to get her on the green or on the fairway a couple of times now. And now she'll be hitting on the first. Back to number 10. And this will be the number 1 players for these 2 schools. That is Sabrina Bonanno of Little Rock. Hitting on the bottom left, just hit her tee shot. Playing partner Shani White of ULM. Just about to hit off the number 10 tee, and hitting off the number 1 tee, and Charlotte Mora just hit her tee shot here at the first. We've got action at both the first and the 10th tees, and the tee and at the greens at both places, as just about all the players getting going here as we go back to the first tee, top left, and that's Araceli Jimenez Rios. Back-to-back 77s for Jimenez Rios, for the junior from Merida, Mexico, just about to hit her tee shot on the first. And on the 10th, you just saw Shani White of ULM hit her tee shot at the bottom left. On the 10th green, Emily Blenau of Little Rock has this left for par. That's on the bottom right, rather. And on the top right, over on the first green, that is Grayson Gladden of Arkansas State. One of 3 players putting for birdie on the number 1 green. Blenau at the bottom right with her par putt's going to slide by, and it's going to continue to slide by, still trickling down the hill. As you see Gladden coming up just short on her birdie putt, so she'll have that left for par. And now Bleno will be trying to save bogey with this one at the bottom right of your screen on the 10th tee, or on the 10th green, rather. Top right, Sassakarn Sumbansup, who shot 72 in the first round, was 1 shot out of the lead, but then had that 84 yesterday. On the top left of your screen, the number 2 players headed down the first fairway here has simultaneous putts on 1 and 10. Sumbansup at the top, and Blenau lips out her bogey at the 10th hole, and so she's going to take double here to start off with. Sumbansup's putt just slides by the right lip for birdie, so she'll have a tap-in par, and she'll go up and finish that off and par the first hole as Blenau taps in for a double here at the 10th hole, and a tough start for her, and you can see her frustration. Back to number 1. Just sliding it by is Ella Ostadal of Georgia Southern. Had a good birdie run as she'll tap in for par. Sumbansup has already tapped in for par, and now Grayson Gladden will be finishing off her par putt here at the first green. Now, Gladden's going to take another quick look at it as we go down to the 10th. And this is Sabrina Bonanno's second shot. Her approach is going to come up just short here at the 10th hole. Back to the first. And Gladden of Arkansas State finishes out her par. So 3 pars out of that group on the first. And this is Shawnee White of ULM. Playing in the number 1 spot for ULM today. Her second shot's going to come up on the front of the green, and she'll have that left for birdie as we go back over to number 1. And this is Araceli Jimenez Rios working on back-to-back 77s. She stands tied for 15th going into the final round. Hitting her second shot here at the first. Making her 3rd appearance in the tournament. She is top 20 both times she's played here. But her second shot's going to go long. It's just off the back edge of the green here at the first. She will have some green to work with, though, from there. So a good chance still to get up and down as we look back in the middle of the fairway. And Ansley Bowman of Georgia Southern. Ansley had a 75 in the first round, 78 in the second round. Her 153 score has her tied for 13th individually. Bringing her second shot in low and right at us, but she'll get the good kick. She's going to kick up on the green, and this is going to be a great shot here on number 1 for Ansley Bowman of Georgia Southern. Got a very, well, some people might say lucky. She'll say fortuitous bounce as she's going to have that left for a birdie in our first real run at a birdie today here at the first hole. And now Ann Charlotte Mora of Texas State. These are the number 2 players for these teams. Mora played the par threes in 2 under par yesterday. As her second shot's going to come up short. She did not get the good bounce, so she's just going to be off the fringe. So she'll have that up and down for par. As you see, our number 2 players for these 3 teams playing in the 4th group out today. All 3 juniors, Ansley Bowman and Charlotte Mora and Arceli Jimenez Rios. And all of them have played in 2 previous conference tournaments. So each of those 3 seeing action for the 3rd time in the tournament as we go to number 1. Oh, this is number 10, I believe. And that was Sabrina Bonanno's 3rd shot, so she'll have that left for par. Bonanno's playing in her 4th conference tournament, one of only 2 players in the tournament who's making a 4th appearance. We'll go back to the number 1 tee. Number 1 players for this group. This is Juliana Collette. She was our first day co-leader individually with a 71. Struggled with an 80 yesterday for the sophomore from St. Simons Island, Georgia. She'll be followed by Sean Yi Yip, sophomore from Malaysia. Very solid round yesterday with a 73 after she opened with an 80 on Sunday. And her 153 has her tied for 13th in the individual chase going into today's final round. You've got 3 players here. Colette's tied for 8th, so you've got 3 players in this grouping, all in the top 15 individually. As Yip hits her tee shot, second player out of this group to tee off.
Next on the tee from Arkansas State University.
Beth Ann Compton will follow up for Arkansas State and will be the 3rd player to hit here. And you see Beth with a brace on her left knee. And I don't know if she was the player that some people were talking about before the tournament, before today's round started. They were talking about she might have a little trouble, might be some difficulty walking the 18 holes, but she's playing in her 3rd conference tournament, so it's going to take a lot more than that to sit her down, you know. Compton shot 75 the first round, 79 in the second round, tied for 15th at a 154. Not sure she likes the direction this one's headed, so we'll go back up to the number 10 green. This is Sabrina Bonanno finishing off for par here at the 10th. Shiny White has already made her par putt, so they'll head on to the 11th hole, and that'll finish up play for ULM and Little Rock here on the 10th. We'll go back to the first tee, and Beth Ann Compton's going to have to hit a second ball. She was obviously out of bounds to the right on her first ball, so she's got to hit either another tee ball or a provisional ball, and we'll find out. We'll see what she wound up having to do. Might be checking to see if the first ball is in bounds, as we'll go back to the number 1 green. This is Ann Charlotte Mora putting from just off the fringe for her birdie. And just skims it by the left lip. It's going to roll about 4 feet past. She'll have that left for her par. So go back to the number 10 tee. And we'll start seeing players now from Georgia State, South Alabama, and Appalachian State. And this is Emily Royer of Georgia State. Improved by 9 strokes yesterday. Had a really struggling 94 in the first round, but then shot 85 in the second round.
Appalachian State, Patricia
So a lot more
Thompson.
solid play from her yesterday, and she's found the fairway here at the 10th. And Madison Cannell of South Alabama be next up to hit. Madison improved from an 84 in the first round to a 79 yesterday in the Monday's second round. She's at 163 for the tournament, making her third conference. Oh, that's not Madison Cannell. That looks like Patricia Thompson. And yes, that is Patricia Thompson. So we missed Cannell's tee shot. Thompson shot 84-87 her first two rounds. And she's in the fairway. Go back to the first. And this is Juliana Collette, who comes up short on her birdie putt. She'll tap in for her par. Check that. That was Ansley Bowman. And now Ann Charlotte Mora will have this left for par. Mora shot 77 first round, 79 yesterday. Tied for 26th after she had two top 13 finishes her first two conference tournaments, and she slid that out to the left, and now she's got a lot of work here to do for bogey. Mora was sixth last year. She had a brilliant 67 in the first round last year. Last two rounds of 78-74 left her at 219. Came into the conference tournament ranked sixth in the league with a 73.89 stroke average, and runs in that putt for bogey here. So this group will head on to the second hole. Back out in the fairway. The number one players for this group, our group grouping of Georgia Southern, Texas State, and Arkansas State that are in the number one fairway. They're the number one players, and you see there our number ones from these three schools, two sophomores and a junior. Juliana Collette of Georgia Southern, Sean Yee Yip of Texas State, and Beth Ann Compton of Arkansas State. Beth Ann Compton still looking for that first tee shot just to see if it's in play. She did hit a provisional ball, apparently, so they're probably still checking to see if she can play that first drive. Will go out to the middle of the fairway, and Juliana Collette is out there, and while Beth Ann Compton is looking for her first ball and determining if it's there, Colette's in the middle of the fairway. It will go over to number 10. And Georgia State's Emily Royer. Actually, that is Madison Cannell of Arkansas, of South Alabama, who's over on the side. And on the middle of the fairway is Patricia Thompson, probably looking for a ball over on the right. I don't know if it's Emily Royers of Georgia State or Madison Cannell of South Alabama. Back to one, Juliana Collette, in the middle of the fairway, short of the bunker with her second shot. And it's going to hit up on the green and roll up. So we've got two birdie putts here at number one, and a third is just off the green. The last grouping of these three schools. Back to number 10. Patricia Thompson of Appalachian State. She's waiting for think they're still looking for a ball on the right side of the fairway as she lines up her second shot. Patricia Thompson playing with Emily Royer of Georgia State and Madison Cannell of South Alabama. They're both over on the right side and might still be looking for a ball. And it is Emily Royer of Georgia State still looking for her tee shot as she pushed it out to the right. Patricia Thompson of Appalachian State, 84-87 her first two rounds, came in with a scoring average of 79.6 entering the conference tournament. The junior from Granite Falls, North Carolina, hitting her second shot here at the 10th. And it's a nice one, and she'll have that left for birdie here at the 10th hole. So a good start for Patricia Thompson. We'll go back to the tee. And our lead three teams just about to set to start teeing off. This is Stephanie Henning of Coastal Carolina. Had a 73 in her first round. Went to an 81 yesterday, but still tied for 8th individually with that 154 score. Sophomore from Ari, Sweden. She'll be followed by Troy's Eva Fabricas-Bier, who shot 76 yesterday. Back at number 10, we've got a Royer had to drop out, and now she's headed out. She just hit what would be her third shot, so she's headed up to the green, and she'll have whatever is left there for par as Royer had to take a drop as we'll go back to the first tee. And the Eva Fabricas-Bier, 83-76, tied for 31st individually. Fabricas-Bier with 6 birdies in the tournament so far, one of the top numbers in the entire tournament. As our group will now head out now toward the number 1 fairway, and we'll go back to the 10th, and this is Beth Ann Compton, rather back to the first green. And this is Beth Ann Compton. Don't know if she was able to find her original ball or not, or if this is playing her provisional ball. If she was able to find it, this is her birdie putt coming up. We'll hope that's the case. And she'll have about 4 feet left to what we hope is a par save here on the first hole. Playing in a group with Juliana Collette and Sean Yi Yip. We'll go back to the tee at number 10. This is Grace Choi of Georgia State. Choi shot 86 in her first round, improved by 4 strokes yesterday to an 82. Had a 79.8 stroke average coming into the tournament. Sophomore from Buford, Georgia. It's got that one going down the left side. If you can miss the trees on the left, you can have a very solid, very open second shot.
South Alabama, Mackenzie Payton.
Mackenzie Payton will follow. Payton improved her score by 7 shots yesterday. Shot 84 in the first round, but improved to a 77 yesterday. So the junior from Newcastle, Kentucky, in her 3rd Sun Belt Conference tournament. She tied for 7th individually last year. She had solid 72-72 in the last 2 rounds last year and finished at 220. Likes her tee shot here at the first hole. And our 3rd player in this group, Abby Bolt, freshman from Woodstock, Georgia for Appalachian State. She had a 10-stroke improvement yesterday from her first round. She was really disappointed after an 88 in the opening round, but put up a 78 yesterday, which was right at her season-long average. And has got her tee shot going. We'll quickly go over to number 1. This is Sean Yi Yip of Texas State, just on the lip on the right side, and she'll have a tap-in par here. playing partner Juliana Collette, waiting to hit. Beth Ann Compton of Arkansas State, probably next to putt here at the first green. And that will be Compton, who's got about 4 feet left for what we think is a par. She hit a provisional ball on the first hole. We'll go back to the 10th tee. And Grace Troy also having to hit a provisional ball here at the 10th. So we'll have to see if she was out of bounds or playing her second drive. Compton rolls in her par putt here at the first. And Juliana Collette will have that left for a par. Back to the number 10 green. This is Patricia Thompson. That one rolls by, and she'll have that left for a bogey, as Collette made her par putt here for Georgia Southern at the first. And that group will head over to the second hole, back to number 10. This is Madison Cannell of South Alabama. Had an 84 in her first round on Sunday, but improved to a 79 yesterday, 163. She was 5th in the league scoring average and rolls in a nice birdie here. So Madison Cannell with a birdie start for South Alabama, and Patricia Thompson will be trying to clean up her par for Appalachian State. Back to number 1. I really couldn't tell who that was hitting it. Was either Eva Fabricas-Begier or her playing partner go back to 10, and Patricia Thompson finishing off her par putt. On the first hole, this is Stephanie Henning in the fairway. This is playing in a twosome because UT Arlington, the third team in this grouping, only has 4 players, so they're just playing 2 as Stephanie Henning hits her second shot and has it on the left side of the green. She'll have about 15 to 18 feet left for her birdie here, and she is playing with Eva Fabricas-Begier, and that was her that was hitting just about out of sight just before on the 1 fairway. So they're headed down here toward the 1 green, and you saw Fabricas-Begier's ball up to just on the front edge of the green. Back over to the 10th. And this is Abby Bolt. And I don't know if she's waiting or looking, or might be waiting on somebody to hit before she rolls on down. Here's a look down the number 10 fairway. Number 10 playing at 337 yards, pretty much straight away. The only trouble that comes into play off the tee is that tree on the left side. And now Abby Bolt is having to drop off the cart path, so this is probably a drop without penalty. Yep, and she'll play from there, and she'll hit her second shot. Here's a quick look at the 10th hole. You see all the bunkers surrounding the green, and the pin is on the front right part of the green today. Very far. No, check that. Make that the front. Yeah, it is the front right. Only 7 paces on from the right. And it's also all the way in the front, only 4 paces on from the front here at the 10th. So it is a very accessible pin for these players if you can avoid the bunkers. As we go back to the first tee, Marie Lunikova of Coastal Carolina, 74-77 in her first 2 rounds.
From Troy University,
tied for 15th.
Go, Tony.
And Antonia Powat of Troy will be next to hit, also in the top 20 going into today's third round. Shot 75 in the opening round, had an 80 yesterday, so at 155, tied for 20. Still a little bit better than her season average, stroke-wise, 78.9 going in for the senior from Niceville, Florida. Powat with a low round of 73 this year. She must like the tee shot, picked it up quickly. Looking at it, maybe on the left side. Back to number 10, and having to punch out from the left side is Grace Choi of Georgia State, but this is a pretty good punch out as it's going to roll up right on the edge of the green, and she'll have that left trying to get up and down for par. Go back to the number 1 tee, and our first look at one of the UT Arlington players. This is Kate Tron, 83.79 her first 2 rounds. Tied for 39th individual. UTA, maybe the surprise team so far in the tournament. Tied for 3rd going into the 3rd and final round, and this for a first-year program. As quickly we'll go back to the number 1 green. This is Stephanie Henning. Long birdie run, slides it by the right side of the cup. She'll have that left for par. Eva Fabricas-Bier of Troy, you see her on the right side of your screen, will have that little short putt left for par. She was just short with her second shot. Over to the number 10 tee, and this is Harmanpreet Kaur of Georgia State. Had one of the bigger improvements yesterday, 80 in the first round, 74 yesterday. She's tied for 15th. You see her in the lower left portion of your screen. Lower right portion up at the 10th green, that's Abby Bolt, who's in the bunker, having to blast out for her third
South
shot
Alabama,
after catching the bunker
Julie Hovland
with her approach. Just above her on the first green, that is Eva Fabricas-Bier of Troy, who has that left for her par. And on the bottom left of your screen on the 10th tee, that's Julie Hovland of Georgia State hitting her tee shot as Fabricas-Bier makes her par.
Appalachian State,
She'll head over to the second
Weinbarger.
hole as Hovland just hit her tee shot on the 10th. And the third member of this group, bottom left of your screen, is Annika Weinbarger of Appalachian State. Had an opening 75 solid round, but then struggled yesterday with an 87, and she's at 162 for the championships as she begins the third round. Bottom right of your screen, Grace Choi had to pitch out of the woods on the left side. She'll have that left for par. And right behind them on the 10th tee, bottom left of your screen, tee shot of Annika Weinbarger of Appalachian State. Opened with a 75 and struggled to an 87 yesterday. And it looks like that Carr is also going to have to hit a second ball here off the 10th tee, as that's her in the bottom left of your screen. Over on the 10th green, just in front of them, rolling it up and rolling it just past the lip is Abby Bolt of Appalachian State. Carr just hit her second tee ball in the 10th on the lower right of your screen, and as Abby Bolt finishes off her par. And Mackenzie Payton of South Alabama looks like she'll be next to hit on the 10th green, bottom right of your screen. And this will be for her par. Above them, we'll look back down the number 1 fairway, top right of your screen. This is Kate Tran of Texas Arlington. Below her, bottom right, that is the par putt for Mackenzie Payton. Now Grace Choi will have this left for bogey here at the 10th. Just above them, hitting from the first fairway, that was Marie Lunikova as the bogey putt for Choi slides by, and now she'll have this left for double bogey. So a tough start for Grace Choi for Georgia State. As the number 4 players at the top right of your screen head down the number 1 fairway, heading toward the first green. Choi with the double bogey putt here at the 10th. On the bottom left of your screen, heading down the number 10 fairway. The grouping of Harmanpreet Kaur, Julie Hovland, and Annika Weinbarger, as we'll go quickly back to the number 1 tee, and this is Sina Ursoy of Coastal Carolina, tied for 3rd in the individual chase after a 1 under par 70 yesterday. She shot 77 in the first round. A junior from Istanbul, Turkey. Player of the Week in the Sun Belt Conference back in mid-March, and entered the tournament with the 4th best scoring average in the league at 74.27.
Next on the tee from Troy University.
Playing in the number 3 spot for her team. She's got 5 birdies in the tournament. She's played the par 5s in 1 under par so far this week. That'll put Sarah Harrison on the tee. Sarah improved from an opening 79 with a 76 yesterday. She is tied for 20th in the individual chase at 155. Junior from Augusta, Georgia. Played her first 2 years at Seminole State before coming to Troy. Quickly over to the 10th fairway, and this is the second shot for this is the 10th hole, sorry, and that's Harmanpreet Kaur, who is apparently she was able to find her first ball. She hit a second ball provisional, but this looks like it's her first one, and she's found it in the woods, so won't have to play with that penalty shot. Go back to the tee. Sydney Garber of UT Arlington. Sydney with a 74 in the first round, 78 yesterday. She's tied for 11th individually, as that group will head down the number 1 fairway. And this is on the green at number 1, and this would be Marie Lunikova of Coastal Carolina. Long birdie attempt, and that is going to come up just short. She'll have a tap-in par for her first hole for the junior from the Czech Republic. Older of the 2 sisters, her younger sister is behind her as Marie finishes out here. Kate Tron of UT Arlington with a long birdie putt here at the first. We'll go over to the 10th. And this is Annika Weinbarger of Appalachian State. Her second shot in will be just on the left fringe, and she'll have an up and down left for par here for her first hole. Back to number 1. Tron ran her putt pretty well past, and she'll have about 4 feet left for par here at the first. Antonia Powat, though, will be putting first, and she'll also have a long run at a birdie. And she was caught the right edge of the green with her second shot. These are the number 4 players for their team, set up by their scores from the first 2 rounds. 5 players for each team. 4 scores count toward the team score each day. Long birdie putt for Powat. It's going to come up just a little short, and she'll have a tap in for her par here at the first. Looks like Kate Tron of UTA will be next to hit. She has this to save par from about 4 feet. Back to the 10th. And this is Harmanpreet Kaur of Georgia State. And had some trouble with the tree there, but was able to get around it. She's going to roll up just on the front fringe. And Kate Tron of UTA ran her par putt by, and now she's got this left for bogey at the first. So Tron with a bogey to start play. And this group will head on to the second. Back up for a view from behind the number 10 green. Harmanpreet Kaur of Georgia State. Julie Hovland of South Alabama. You see Harmanpreet on the left-hand side of your screen. Julie Hovland of South Alabama and Annika Weinbarger also in this group. And it will be Kaur, who came up just short with her second. Had to struggle with that pine tree that she hit next to with her tee shot, so had to play up a little bit short. These are the number 3 players for their 3 schools. Back to number 1. Approach shot from one of the 3 players as we'll go back to the number 10 tee. And that is Chloe Howard of Georgia State. Back-to-back 76s her first 2 rounds. She's tied for 11th going into the third and final round. Caroline Burge of South Alabama shot 78-77 her first 2 rounds. Tied for 20th individually. She's a freshman from Hundvåg, Stavanger, Norway. With her tee shot, pretty much has it going right down the heart of it here at the 10th. 10th pretty much straight away off the tee. Third member of this group, Melanie Chong of Appalachian State. Tied for 12th in last year's tournament. Shot a 70 in the final round. She'd like to match that here today. First 2 rounds, 76-79 has her tied for 20th as we go down to the number 10 green, and A lip out as on a chip attempt for Annika Weinbarger, trying to go for her birdie, so she'll have just that little tap in left for par, as you saw Melanie Chong hitting her tee ball lower left of your screen on the number 10 tee. Chloe Howard, Caroline Burge, and Melanie Chong heading down the number 10 fairway, as we'll go back to the number 10 green. And this is Julie Hovland of South Alabama. Back-to-back 80-80 her first two rounds for the freshman from Bergen, Norway. Just gets it started rolling. Lets gravity take over, and that's going to slide by the right side and still going. You saw how much speed that putt had, putting from the back toward the front of this green. We'll go back to the number 1 tee. And it'll be the number 2 players for these three schools. This is Frantiska Lunakova. Had a solid 1 under par 70 yesterday. She is tied for third in the individual chase, 77-70, 147. She is the reigning conference player of the week, having won it in the middle week of April.
Troy University, Bianca Lobauer.
Apparently likes her tee shot. She's quickly moving away from it. Bianca Lobauer of Troy will be second to hit off the first tee. Had a 75 in the first round. Added to that some yesterday, finished with a 79, but still tied for 15th coming into play today with a 154 score. She's had 2 top 12 finishes in the Sun Belt tournament her first 2 years, and that's her hitting on the top left of your screen. Bottom right of your screen is Julie Hovland, who has this left for par as Lobauer hits her tee shot here at the first.
Next on the tee from University of Texas, Arlington, Madigan Murray.
And Madigan Murray, top left of your screen from UTA. 2 very solid rounds, 76 and 74. She is tied for 6th individually. Putts on both the 1 and 10 greens. Julie Hovland of South Alabama rolls in her putt. Annika Weinbarger will now be putting as on the first green. It's a birdie attempt for Sina Ursoy of Coastal Carolina. She'll have a tap-in par. It's on the first tee. Her teammate, or rather Sydney Garber on the first green. Her teammate Madigan Murray on the top left of your screen just hit her tee ball off the number 1 tee. Making her par putt, bottom right of your screen for Annika Weinbarger, and that group will head on to number 11. Back to the number 1 green. Birdie putt from Sydney Garber comes up just short for UTA. 74-78 her first 2 rounds, tied for 11th at 152, and she'll start out with a par here at the first. And yes, you do have the contrast in this group. Sarah Harrison just about to putt. She's 5'11", playing in the same group with Sydney Garber of UT Arlington, who stands 4 feet 10, so about a foot difference between those two players. Just goes to show you, you don't have to, there's no size in golf. Size really doesn't matter a lot as long as you can play, and these two players can definitely play as Harrison's putt will roll in. Sarah Harrison with a nice birdie to start things off here at the first hole. And you can tell how excited she is, pointing at a teammate as we'll go to the 10th fairway. And I believe this was Chloe Howard of Georgia State hitting her Second shot up, tight, and she'll have that left for birdie here at the 10th. So a series of good shots being brought to you here over the last couple of minutes. As I believe that's Chloe Howard's ball, and she only has about 4 feet left for birdie here at the 10th. And a third shot just coming in. That was either Caroline Burge or Melanie Chong's shot. We'll find out who that was when they head up here toward the green. These are the number 4 players as we'll go back to the number 1 fairway. And that's a look at Frantiska Lunikova of Coastal Carolina. Tied for third individually going into today. Had a 70 yesterday. Has her shot, her approach shot from the middle of the fairway here at the first. Number 2 grouping, or rather number 2 players in this group for these 3 schools. And all of them in the top 15 individually. Lunikova tied for third. Madigan Murray of UTA tied for 6th, as her approach shot is going to go long, and she might have found that back bunker and might have buried a little bit in that back bunker. Oh, no, the ball's still sitting up some, so she'll have a long way. She'll have a lot of green to work with for Lunikova as we go to the number 10 tee. And this will be Paula Zabate of Georgia State. In our final group, quickly back to number 10, the 10 green, and that was the approach shot for Melanie Chong of Appalachian State. Playing in a group with Chloe Howard in the dark blue and Caroline Burge in the light blue shirt. Go back to the 10 tee. Second player in our final group off number 10, Siti Shari of South Alabama. Shot 81 in the first round, improved to a 74 yesterday, tied for 20th individually. 2 times already she's been the player of the week in the league. Freshman from Malaysia. Has her tee-ball in the fairway.
Elias.
And now it'll be Joe Elias's turn from Appalachian State. The junior from Jamestown, North Carolina, had a solid 72 in the first round. Finished up at 79 yesterday, but still tied for 8th individually at 151 going into today's third and final round. Third place finisher in last year's Conference Women's Championships. Shot solid rounds all the way through, 73, 72, and a 70 in the final round. She would like to match that final round again today. She's going to start her tee shot off to the right, trying to bring it in, but she's going to be easily in play. So our last group is off the tee here at number 10. And at the bottom right of your screen, you see action on the 10th green. That's Chloe Howard of Georgia State in the bright blue, lining up for what is a birdie putt for her after she hit a very solid shot coming in here. Caroline Burge of South Alabama also lining up hers, but it will be Howard first to hit, trying to hole out this birdie. Howard's birdie putt rolls that one in. Nice birdie for Chloe Howard of Georgia State. Good start for her to her round after she's working on back-to-back 76s. She's tied for 11th individually. And now Caroline Burge will have this left for par. Caroline opened with a 78, added a 77 yesterday, and she is tied for 20th individually. And rolling it in on the right side of the cups, Caroline Burge, so she saves par here at the 10th. As this group will head on to the 11th hole. We'll go back to the number 1 tee And our final group hitting off the first, and this is our individual leader, Malene Krobel-Hansen. Shot a 69 yesterday, 2 under par after an opening 73. She's at 142, even par, and she has a 4-stroke lead in the individual chase going to the final round. Was 4th in the tournament last year, 73, 72, 71, even par 216. Looks like she had a 3-wood off the tee. 3 times this year, Krobel-Hansen's been the player of the week in the conference and came into the tournament with a 71.54 stroke average. Lindsey Harrison of Troy will be next up to hit off number 1. Harrison was the co-individual leader after the first round, 71. Shot 75 yesterday, and she is in second place individually with a 146 and hitting driver off number 1. And she likes her tee shot as she will head down. And our final player to hit here off the number 1 tee in the initial groups, Ava Schweintek of UTA. She stands number 5 individually, the freshman from Magnolia, Texas. Very solid rounds her first 2 rounds, 74 and 75. 149 has her in 5th place. UTA has to be the surprise team of this tournament. Only 4 players in their first year of conference women's golf, and Schweintek likes her tee shot here at the first. So our final group headed down the number 1 fairway. Here's our scoreboard. We were talking about Malene Krobel-Hansen. Had that 4-shot lead after a solid 69 in yesterday's second round after she opened with a 73. She's got 5 birdies in the tournament. More importantly, 26 pars, and she has played the par 5s and 3 under par through the first 3 rounds. Back to the number 1 green, and that the birdie putt for Bianca Lobauer of Troy slides by. She'll have a little bit left for her par. Going toward the number 10 green. That's the second shot for Paula Zabarte of Georgia State, just off the fringe on number 10. We'll go back to number 1. This is Frantiska Lunikova with her run at a birdie. Lunikova with a 1 under par 70 yesterday. And that one's going to slide by the left. She'll leave herself about 3 feet coming back for par. Going to the 10th hole, Siti Shari of South Alabama. Had a solid 74 in yesterday's round, but her second shot here is going to come up short. And she'll have a tough little up and down for par here at the 10th. Back to the first hole, Madigan Murray of UTA has this little tester left for par. Murray with a 76-74, first 2 rounds, 150, tied for 6th individually. And both of those are well under her season stroke average. Came in averaging 80.5. So she is 10 strokes below her season average over the first 2 rounds here, but pushed that putt to the left. And now has got probably a little bit more here than she started with on that putt. So this will be coming back for a bogey. Lunikova is already in for her par here. And I think Lobauer is also in with par. These are the number 2 players for these 3 teams. Their number 1 player teammates are in the fairway at number 1. The freshman from McKinney, Texas, trying to salvage bogey here at the first and push that putt again out to the right, and looking a little incredulous at that line as she's going to take double bogey here. So a tough start for Madigan Murray of UTA, and now Francisca Lunikova will be ready to finish off for her par as we go back to the 10th and the third shot for Siti Shari of South Alabama. Came into the league tournament ranked second in the conference in stroke average, 73.76. Bumps up her third shot. It's going to come up about 3 or 4 feet short. She'll have that left for her par. Back to the number 1 green, and Bianca Lobauer trying to finish off par here. It's always a tough putt after you watch a playing partner struggle with the putter, and Madigan Murray just doubled here with a 3-putt. But no problem there as she saves par. As we go back to number 10, and a chip almost growing across the green from Joe Elias, but just does stay out of the bunker, and she'll have that coming back for par. So playing side to side is the junior from Jamestown, North Carolina. Had that opening 72, but struggled with a 79 yesterday. Comes in tied for 8th. And get a good look now at Paula Zabarte, the senior from Madrid, Spain, who's hitting her third shot. She'll be putting off the fringe. Zabarte making her second appearance in the Sun Belt Championships. She was 39th as a sophomore in 2016 and did not play last year. Rolls this one down and just past the left lip, and she'll have about 18 inches left for par here at the 10th. Back to number 1, and in the middle of the fairway, that is Ava Schweintek of UTA. Her second shot will roll up toward the green, as these are the number 1 players for these 3 schools and the last players to hit here at number 1. Quickly back to number 10, Joe Elias of Appalachian State, who chipped across the green, and this was coming back for par, so she'll have 3 feet left for her bogey here at the 10th. Back to the number 1 fairway, Malene Krobel Hansen, our individual leader. Even par for the day, or rather for the tournament, for the senior from Tastrup, Denmark. Only player in the league to play subpar for the season average, and brings her second shot in, backs it up with the short iron, and she'll have that left for a birdie. Rolling in her par putt is Siti Shari of South Alabama, and Joe Elias will have that left for bogey as we go back to number 1. And in some troubles, Lindsey Harrison had to play out of the bunker, but is still able to get it on the back of the green, and it will hold up. Won't go in that back bunker, so she'll still have a chance to up and down for her par. Elias rolls in her bogey putt here at the 10th after chipping across the green. And now Paula Zabarte of Georgia State will have her putt left for par here at the 10th. And Zabarte has her par. And our final group will head on to the 11th hole and move on to the backside as we'll go back to action at the number 1 fairway as our girls are walking up at number 1. And Lindsey Harrison finding out that bunker shot that you saw on the left side just a moment ago, that was her second attempt to get out of the bunker. She left the first one in the sand, so this will be for par from way at the back of the green, so she's going to struggle just to save bogey here at the first. As you see, Ava Schweintek of UTA. She is just short of the green in 2. Trying to get up and down for par. These are the number 1 players for these 3 schools, and they will be wrapping up play here at number 1. Play's already finished over on number 10, as soon as this group finishes, we will move forward on the course and try to bring you some in-course action from the middle of the rounds here today, as all of the 54 players in the championships are now on the course. This is the 3rd and final day of championship play. At the end of the day, we will crown a team and an individual champion, and we'll also determine the conference's automatic team qualifier for the NCAA championships that will start in just about 3 weeks from now. Ava Schweintek of UT Arlington opened with a 74, had a 75 yesterday. She is at 149 and tied for 5th individually. First hole, as you saw from yesterday, just like the first day, was a struggle with only 3 birdies given up on this 346-yard hole. Scoring average 4.57 yesterday. Ava Schweintek's 3rd shot's going to come up well short, and she still have a little work to do for par here at the first. Back of the green, well off the back of the green, is Lindsey Harrison, and this will be her 4th shot after she left one in the bunker down the fairway here at the first. Sarah Harrison in front of her with one of the few birdies that has been given up by number 1, as that one's going to fall in for the former junior college All-American. And you can tell she's happy with her first few points. A little bit of a sort of a mini dance here as we'll go back live to the back of the number 1 green and Lindsey Harrison. And this is for par after she struggled with the fairway bunker. Nice up, but it's going to roll past, and she's going to have at least 6 feet left, and that is for double bogey for our current number 2 standing player in the individual standings. Good look at Malin Krobel Hansen of Coastal Carolina, our individual leader. Finished 4th last year individually, shot 73, 72, 71. Opened with a 73 on Sunday, but then came back with a 2 under par 69 in yesterday's round. She holds Coastal's school record for 54-hole score. She shot a 9 under par 207 at the Golf Week Conference Challenge last year. And her birdie putt stays out to the left. She'll have a little work left for par here. Lindsey Harrison marks as Ava Schweintek will also have this left for par. She's got a lot longer par putt here as she was well short with her second shot and then came up short with her putt from well off the front fringe. Pin is 23 feet or 23 steps back on a 34-yard deep green here at the first. And Schweintek's par putt's going to come up short. She will take a bogey here at the first hole. Lindsey Harrison would like to walk away with a bogey as she has this putt for her 5. Her tee shot caught that left-hand bunker and then wasn't able to get out of it with her second. Her third went to the back of the green. Long putt off that back fringe, wound up here, and so now she's putting 4-5. Harrison was our co-leader after the first round with an even par 71, had a 75 yesterday. 5 birdies for her in the tournament. She's played the par 3s in 3 under for the week, but that bogey putt will not go, and now Harrison is going to drop 2 strokes to par, at least 2, here at the first hole. She'll move away and let Krobel Hansen try to finish off her par. And this is not a gimme either. The angle makes it look short, but it's probably got somewhere between 3 and 4 feet. As Krobel Hansen came up well short with her first putt. Trying to save par. She's got 26 pars out of 36 holes this week and does save par here. That's how you win tournaments. 26 pars and 5 birdies, 5 bogeys. That's even par through 2 rounds. And Lindsey Harrison makes her double bogey putt. Disappointing start for the Troy Jr. from Panama City Beach, Florida, as the last groups have come through here at number 1, and we'll take a quick break and move to action in the middle of the course, and that'll come up in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we do want to express our condolences to the family of Vic Bubba, very first commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference. The league was sad to hear of his passing earlier this week. 14 years he served the Sun Belt Conference, and he was the first commissioner of the Sun Belt. He will go down in history as far as the history of college basketball. He was the first to introduce the shot clock to college basketball. That was one of the many innovations for the Sun Belt during the league's early years of existence, when the Sun Belt was a forerunner of many things that are now standard operating procedure, not just around college basketball, but around college athletics. So sad to hear of the loss of the league's first commissioner, Vic Bubba. Welcome back to the Sun Belt Conference Women's Golf Championships, and we're going to pick up action at the 6th hole, par 3. Plays at 174 yards, and the pin's way tucked on the left side of the green, as you can see where the location is. So you know that water on the left side will come into play at some point, as this is our third group coming through here at the number 6 green. You get a good look there at Sasikarn Sambunsuk of Texas State. She was the individual champion last year. Just short of the green, and was able to avoid the water and will be hitting her second shot here at the par 3. Sambunsuk 1 under through her first 3 holes today. Had a birdie at the par 5 third hole. Was in the bunker in the front and had to blast it out, so she'll have that left for par here at the 6th. Playing in a group there, you see a shot of Grayson Gladden of Arkansas State, who was just in the front of the green. Grayson's also under par through 3 holes, and she also birdied the par 5 third hole. So the third obviously playing a little bit easier today. Got a couple of birdies already there on that par 5, the first par 5 on the front side. And just from the front fringe is Grayson Gladden. 80 in the first round, shot 77 in round 2. Rolling this one up, she'll have that left for par here at the 6th. And Ella Ostedal of Georgia Southern, the third player in this group, still to hit. Ostedal 1 over par through the first 3 today. He's got this, though, for birdie here at the 6th. And Yu was a little bit offline when she hit it. Ostedal with a bogey at the second hole, otherwise pars to this point. As you see, our third group coming through here at the 6th hole. All 3 sophomores, Ella Ostedal of Georgia Southern, Sasikarn Sambunsuk of Texas State, and Grayson Gladden of Arkansas State. First 2 making their second appearance in the conference tournament. Grayson Gladden making her first appearance, as Sambunsuk will have this left over for her par here at the 6th. Just a few moments, we'll also have you some coverage from over at the 15th hole on the backside, as some groups our twosomes are just about to finish over there. Sambunsuk's putt for par and rolls that in. Nicely done by the sophomore from Thailand. She saves par here at the 6th out of the bunker on this island green here at number 6. Grayson Gladden will be next, trying to also save par. 174 yards here at the 6th hole, but it takes a long time for players to make it from the 6th tee to the 6th green because of the route you have to take. You've got to take the cart path all the way around and then come across a pedestrian bridge to get to the island out here in the middle. As Gladden rolls in her par putt, and now Ostedal will be trying to do the same. Here's how the 6th hole played. Only 3 birdies in the first round. Gave up a few more yesterday. 9 birdies as Ostadal makes her par putt. So 3 pars here at the 6th. And they will move on to play. This group getting near the end of their front 9. And back at the tee is our 4th set. Looks like it'll be Ansley Bowman to hit first, but first we're going to go over to the 15th hole. And this is our first group of players from Georgia State, South Alabama, and Appalachian State. I think this is Patricia Thompson of Appalachian State. Thompson's even par through her first 3 holes today at 10, 11, and 12. Back quickly to number 6. And that's Araceli Jimenez Rios hitting her tee shot here at the 6th. A little bit long, but safely on the putting surface, and she'll have a long run at a birdie here at the par 3. Back to the tee, and this is Ansley Bowman, Georgia Southern. Ansley opened with a 75, 78 in yesterday's second round. And Ansley right now is 1 under par through her first 3 holes today. And she also birdied the par 5 3rd hole. Bringing it in right to left, just barely clearing that front bump, and that's going to be a nice shot for Ansley Bowman. She is pin high and will have about 12 feet left for birdie. As we got action going on at the 6th and the 15th. As on the tee at the 6th, you're going to get 2 views of the swing of Ann Charlotte Mora of Texas State. Players headed down the fairway at 15. Our first group from those 3 schools, Georgia State, South Alabama, and Appalachian State. That's Ann Charlotte Mora of Texas State with her tee shot here at the 6th. She's 1 over par through her first 3. I think she's dry. Didn't see exactly where it went, but I don't see any ripples. That's always a good thing. Ann Charlotte Mora with a birdie, or rather a bogey at the first hole today. We saw that bogey, but has strung pars together since then. You can see that island green, the shot from your top right of your screen. We're on the island looking back toward the tee. On the top left of your screen, you see the tee looking down toward the green. And yes, it is an island all the way around. And there's a bridge at the back that is the only access there. So what they're doing normally is they're shuttling players in golf carts from the 6th tee to the 6th green in order to try to speed up pace of play. Bottom right of your screen, it's Emily Royer of Georgia State. First group here out of these 3 teams, and Emily struggling through her first 3 holes today. She took a bogey at the 10th and then took a triple bogey 8 at the par 5 11th hole. So she is 4 over par through her first 2 holes today. She's had pars since then. And this is Emily Royer's 3rd shot. The 15th hole playing at only 321 yards. So players hitting just short irons for their 2nd shot. And that one's going to fly over, and she will not be happy with that as her 2nd shot flies over the green and into the back bunker. 15th, well guarded with bunkers You see the 9 birdies that it gave up in the first round, 15 total through the first 2 rounds, and it has played as one of the easiest holes on the course. It was the second easiest in the first round, and then the third easiest in yesterday's second round. Played at 4.06 and 4.17 in the first 2 rounds. Back to 15. This is Patricia Thompson of Appalachian State with her second shot, and she's also going to go long, but hers is going to hang on to the putting surface, and then it will trickle back down the hill, and she'll have a birdie putt here at the 15th. And you see the shot coming in from the side. That was Madison Cannell of South Alabama with her second shot approach here. And so I'm not sure where Cannell's second shot came from, but that will be left, or her third shot, that'll be left for her par. And now Emily Royer will have this for her third. As her second shot was chipped over the green, rolled down into the middle of the bunker. Royer's third shot here at the par 4. And that's going to roll back across, and it's going to roll back off the green almost. It stays on the putting surface. So Royer with some back and forth action here at the 15th. And she'll have that left for par. Madison Cannell of South Alabama. Looks like she'll be lining up, but I think that Emily Royer's still out. She'll be next to putt. Go back over to number 6. And this is Ann Charlotte Mora in the maroon. View from back at the tee. Like she's in the bunker and will be playing her second. Back to 15. This is the par putt for Emily Royer. Second shot went over the green. Third shot back to here. And her par putt is going to roll in. That is a saving par as we'll go back to the 6th, and the bunker shot of Ann Charlotte Mora rolls about 8 feet past. Playing in a group with Ansley Bowman of Georgia Southern and Araceli Jimenez Rios of Arkansas State. And there's Jimenez Rios as we'll go back to 15. And Patricia Thompson. Will be for her birdie. Short par 4, as you said, only 321 yards, and even the tee is a little bit up today. And nice putt by Patricia Thompson. She rolls in a birdie here at the 15th. Madison Cannell of South Alabama. Trying to match that as we go back and look back from the tee. Abby Bolt of Appalachian State getting ready to hit. Quick back to the green. This is back to the 6th green, and this is the putt of Araceli Jimenez Rios for her birdie. She'll have just a little couple of feet tap in for par as she was at the back of the green with her tee shot. Now you get a look at Ansley Bowman of Georgia Southern. Ansley 1 under par through 3 holes so far today. And she has this for a birdie here at the 6th. Making her 3rd appearance in the conference championships. And slides that one by, and now it catches some of the grain, and she'll have that left for par. So par putts all around for this group. The longest one, and Charlotte Morris, as she had to come out of the bunker. She probably has 12 feet, 10 to 12 feet maybe, to try to save par here. One over par through her first 3 today, and that one's going to slip by. Texas State currently standing tied for 4th in the team standings, tied with Georgia Southern. Trying to save bogey as Ansley Bowman looking to finish off this 3-footer for par. Back from the tee here at number 6, and we see our number 4 group that's playing here at the par 3 hole. 3 juniors in this group, Ansley Bowman and Charlotte Mora and Araceli Jimenez Rios, who will be next to putt. Actually, it will be Aunt Charlotte Mora running her bogey putt past, and you can see her disappointment and disgust as she's going to take a double bogey here at the 6th hole. Araceli Jimenez Rios, Arkansas State, will be trying to clean up par. And rolls that in as this group has finished up, and we'll go over to 15. This is Abby Bolt of Appalachian State. Our second group of players from Georgia State, South Alabama, and App State playing here at the 15th. Sophomore, a junior, and a freshman. The freshman Abby Bolt that'll be first to hit her second shot. Bolt 1 over par through her first 3, as her approach shot's going to be on the left side of the green. Pin cut over on the right, so she'll have a little area to negotiate to try to long birdie putt, try to 2-putt par as we go back to the 6th. And Juliana Collette of Georgia Southern misses the putting surface, but safely dry here at the attacking the island at the 6th. And next up to hit will be Beth Ann Compton of Arkansas State. Compton is even through 3 holes today. Check that. She is 2 over through 5. as she took a double bogey at the par 3 fourth after birdieing the par 5 third hole. So Compton 2 over as she stands on the 6th tee. She was tied for 15th coming into today's play. And has that one flying on the left side. Hopefully for her, held up and didn't go down the embankment into the water. Doesn't have a lot of green to work with on that side either, so players will head down toward this number 6 green. Just a few moments ago here at 15, this is at 6 rather. This is Sean Yi Yip of Texas State, just on the front fringe, and she'll have a run up at a birdie here at the 6th. That pin is 11 paces on, so she'll have about 20, 25 feet for a birdie at the 6th. Back over to 15. This is Abby Bolt of Appalachian State. Improved her score by 10 shots in yesterday's second round. She had an 88 to open and then improved to a 78 yesterday in the second round, which is just about her stroke average on the year. She came into the conference tournament with a 78.3 average and a low round of 74. Her third shot here at the short par 4 slides past and runs well past. She'll have 7 or 8 feet coming back for par. Grace Choi of Georgia State. 82 yesterday after an 86 in the opening round. Choi 1 over par through her first 3 today. Had a birdie 2 at the par 3 12th hole. Here's how she got to this point. Look at her second shot coming up. Oh, hit the back edge of the cup and rolled well away. Almost holed out her second shot, and this is for birdie. This one's going to come up short going up the hill, and she'll have that left for her par, and she'll tap that in to finish off here at the 15th. So Choi, after a birdie 2 at the 12th, almost had a birdie here at the 15th. Mackenzie Payton of South Alabama. Even par through 3 holes today. Birdie the 11th, bogey the 12th, and a birdie putt's going to come up just short. Turns away at the last second. Payton will tap in for par here at the 15th. Now Abby Bolt trying to save par here. So her first putt rolled well past, rolls in a nice par putt. So Abby Bolt of Appalachian State with a par. And they'll head on over to number 16. These players started at number 10, so they'll still have the front 9 to go. Over to number 6, and this is Juliana Collette of Georgia Southern. It was off the green, but safely dry. This whole area around the number 6 green is one big island, and she's actually, I think she's down in the bunker here. A couple of bunkers and a lot of grass area on the island, so it's not just the green. Kind of hacks that one out up toward the pin. It's a pretty good out as it's going to roll only about a couple of feet past. Had a little English on it, so it's group number 5. The number 1 players for these 3 schools after the first 2 rounds. Juliana Collette of Georgia Southern, just saw her hit out of the bunker, the sophomore. Sean Yi Yip of Texas State, also a sophomore. And Beth Ann Compton of Arkansas State, a junior, playing in the conference tournament for the 3rd time. And this is Beth Ann Compton, who was off to the left side of the green with her tee shot. And again, having to gouge it out of one of those nearby bunkers. And again, this is a pretty good out. The problem is she's going downhill, sloping away from her. It's really hard to stop anywhere near the pin, so she'll have that left for par. Compton's finished in the top 10 in each of the last two tournaments. She was 9th in 2016 as a freshman and finished tied for 7th last year as a sophomore. Making her first conference tournament appearance this year is Sean Yi Yip of Texas State, and she had a very solid 73 round yesterday. In the second round, after opening up with an 80, she stood tied for 13th after the first two rounds. And she is 1 over through her first 5 holes today. 4 pars to go with a bogey at the par 4 second hole. So she has another solid round going and has a chance at birdie today, right here at the 6th, as she hit her tee shot, just hit on the very front fringe and stopped there, but that one broke a lot more to the right than she thought, and she'll have a little work left for par here. 4 pars and a bogey so far for Sean Yi Yip. That's Beth Ann Compton of Arkansas State trying to save her par here, as she was in the bunker on the left side. And blasted out to this point. Compton putting back up the hill, and that one's going to slide, or is it going to come up a little bit short, and Compton will tap in for a bogey. And Sean Yi Yip, who had a run at a birdie just a moment ago, trying to save par, the sophomore from Malaysia. Improved her score by 7 shots from the first to the second round. Going for her 5th par out of her first 6 holes. We got a little more than a tap in after her tee shot found the green. And that's not going to get there. And now going to roll back down the slope a little bit more. So still not a gimme for Sean Yi Yip for bogey here. She's going to have a 3-putt here at the 6th. So disappointing for her after her tee shot. And now Juliana Collette, who came out of the bunker and trying to save par here. Number 6 has not given up a lot of birdies through first couple of rounds. 5 double bogeys through 2 rounds also, as finishing off her par is Collette. They'll head on to the 7th. And already on the tee, our next groups representing Coastal Carolina, Troy, and UTA. This one is the twosome, as this is Eva Fabricus-Begier of Troy. Eva's 1 over par through her first 3 today. Bogeyed the second hole after you saw her par at the first, and her tee shot catches the front fringe, and she'll have a long birdie putt here at the 6th. As Stephanie Henning will be next to hit. Henning, we saw her par the first, but then she took a double bogey 6 at the par 4 second hole, so she was 2 over par through her first 2. And she's had pars since that time. Henning opened up with a 73. Then came back with an 81 yesterday. Still stood tied for 8th going into the final round as far as the individual chase. We'll crown team and individual champions when we complete play today in the third and final round, as her tee shot is on the way. And it is a good one. It's going to land just about hole high, about 8 feet past, and she'll have that for a run at what will be, I think, only the second birdie all day today here at the 6th. So we'll go back to the tee at 15. This is Harmanpreet Kaur of Georgia State. Had a solid 74 yesterday. Kaur with her tee shot. Bogeyed the 10th, came back and birdied the 11th, but then double bogeyed at the par 3 12th hole. So she stands at 2 over par for her round. Annika Weinbarger of Appalachian State opened with a solid 75, but then struggled yesterday in the second round, finished up at 87. Weinbarger even par through her first 3 today, with 3 straight pars. Back to number 6, as this is our first group from these couple of schools, and they're already on the green, and they'll be down putting. Stephanie Henning of Coastal Carolina stood tied for 8th going into today's play as far as the individual chase. Right now has lost a couple strokes, and she's back tied for 22nd as she's 2 over through her first 3 today. Fabricas Begier is 1 over for the day and currently tied for 30th individually after that bogey at the second hole. And you see at least a bag from one of our next groups to come up just barely on your screen. Again, it does take a while for the players to get from the tee to the green here at number 6, even though it's just, unless we don't have anybody in this tournament that can walk on water, so they've got to go all the way around. And that includes the cart path that is well off to the left side, and then you've got to circle around the lake, and you've got to come back in the cart path, and then you've got to take a pedestrian bridge, which is behind the green. You can't see it from here. There's a bridge you also have to walk across. So what they're doing is they will, once players hit their tee shots, they are shuttling players by cart when a cart's available to try to speed up pace of play, which, to be honest, has not been very good over the first couple of days. It was very slow the first day. Now, the weather would have had something to do with that. It's the wet conditions, and then players were playing lift and clean. So that's going to take a little bit longer to do. Go back to the 15th hole. These are the number 3 players in this group. Right in the middle of the fairway in the gold is Annika Weinbarger of Appalachian State. Right side of your screen is Harmanpreet Kaur of Georgia State. Julie Hovland of South Alabama, the 3rd member of this group, as you see our group heading up toward the tee, getting ready to hit their second shots here on the short par 4. Pin is over on the right side of the green, just about in the middle as far as depth. This is not a very deep green. It's only 23 yards. That is the shortest green on the golf course. This goes with the shortest par 4 out here as this wedge comes up, rolls around, and it's going to trickle back down toward the hole a little bit. So Carr will have that for a birdie. Back to number 6. And this is Ava Fabricas-Begier with her birdie run at it. Comes up short. She'll have that left for par. This is a twosome because Texas Arlington, which is grouped in with these two schools, it just has the 4 players taking part. So the number 5's playing as a twosome as Stephanie Henning of Coastal Carolina, sophomore from Ari, Sweden. And she's got this for a birdie. We'll go back over to 15. Out of the bunker on the right side, Julie Hovland of South Alabama. And this is a good out for her. Again, this short par 4, so she'll have that for birdie as Stephanie Henning's birdie putt on number 6 slides past. And now she'll come back up the hill to try to save par. Henning ranks 17th in the conference scoring average-wise, 76.08 coming into the tournament, but then shot that 73 in the first round, 81 yesterday, so she's just about at her stroke average for the year through 2 rounds here. And rolls in a nice par there. That's really been the key for Coastal Carolina, is they've been able to roll in a lot of par putts, and that has helped them build what was a 23-stroke lead going into today's 3rd round, and they've still at 23 right now as we check the updated team scores. And now we're going to give you shots from all over the course here, the 6th and the 15th, as Eva Fabricas-Begier is trying to save her par here at the 6th on the 2 top screens, and rolls in her par. And on the bottom screen, nice roll in for a par, and nice little kick action by Eva there on the 6th, and also just a nice putt rolled in by Annika Weinbarger, that for a birdie here at the 15th. So a couple of happy players on both ends as they will head along. All of these groups obviously still have finish up this 9, and they'll have another 9 to play as we'll go back up to the tee here at the number 6. And this is Marie Lunikova of Coastal Carolina. She's even par on the day through her first 3 holes. Bogeyed at the 2nd, but then birdied the par 5 3rd hole, and has another run at a birdie here, as she'll have about 12 to 15 feet left for a birdie here at the 6th. We'll go back over to the 15th, and this the birdie putt for Hammonprit Carr. She'll finish up with a par here. And the 3rd member of the group, Julie Hovland, will have this for her birdie. Annika Weinbarger of Appalachian State just had a birdie here, and Hovland will be trying to follow suit as their teammates are, as she gets ready to putt. She's got a teammate hitting her tee shot here at 15. It's Caroline Burrs, the lower left of your screen, with her tee ball on the 15th. On the 6th tee at the top of your screen on both sides, this is Antonia Poat of Troy getting ready to hit her shot. As you saw Hovland finish off her par here at the 15th. And on the 15th tee, that's Chloe Howard of Georgia State. And at the top of your screen, on the 6th, hitting her tee ball is Antonia Poat of Troy.
I don't know, but it was big.
Kate Tron of UT Arlington already hit her tee shot here at the 6th. So they'll be headed down for this long walk to the 6th green. And players also making their way up to the 15th fairway that just hit their tee shots here on 15. Just a reminder, while we do have a break, you're watching action in the third and final round of the Sun Belt Conference Women's Golf Championships. At the end of play today, we will crown the champions in both the team and the individual portions. And then also a reminder that it won't be long before we'll be back here at the Raven in the Sandestin Golf and Beach Resort as competition in the Men's Conference Championship will begin on Sunday. Men's competition will run Sunday through Tuesday in medal play, and then Wednesday we'll have 2 or 4 teams advancing to match play for the conference championship, and that'll be on Wednesday. As you get a look at our groups that just hit their tee balls here at number 6. Senior Antonia Poat of Troy, Marie Lunikova of Coastal Carolina Junior, and the freshman Kate Tron of UTA. UTA's team, of course, all 4 of them being freshmen. First-year program for the Mavericks. Again, that men's competition will start on Sunday, and we'll be getting underway just probably about 7:30 a.m. once again for all 3 of those days worth of action. So make sure to join us for all that action Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then the match play championships on Wednesday. And we will hope for good weather again like we've had for the last 2.5 days after it was not so good early in the morning in Sunday's first round. As we'll go back out to the fairway at number 15. This is Chloe Howard of Georgia State, freshman from Plymouth, England. Next to last group for these 3 schools. Short par 4, so players with a chance to attack this pin location as this wedge shot flies over the flag. It'll get a little bit of a trickle back down, but that one's going to stay up on the ridge, and Howard will have that left for her birdie. As you saw Caroline Burge in the background walking up, pacing off her shot. This is the group that's approaching the green here at 15 right now. 2 freshmen and a sophomore for these 3 schools. This is Caroline Burge of South Alabama. Caroline's was even par through her first 3 today with 3 straight pars. And her second shot wedge, and kicks off to her left. She'll have a downhill putt for birdie at the 15th. Chloe Howard is already on there. That's her ball right there closest to you. Melanie Chong of Appalachian State is the 3rd member of this group. Melanie in some trouble on her second shot. I don't know if that's her. That has to be her second shot. I don't know if you can hit a tee ball that far. She's having to take a drop off the cart path. Unless she hit the cart path and got a very fortuitous bounce, we're going to assume that this is going to be her third shot. Yeah, she had to mark and then drop, so I'm going to assume that's shot number 3. While we're waiting for them, we'll go back to the 6th hole. This is Antonia Powat of Troy getting ready to hit out of the bunker here at number 6. We'll go back to 15. This is Melanie Chong hitting her third shot after she had to drop off the cart path. Pitches it up, bounces it off the fringe, and now has to stop it going up the hill, and she'll have that left for par here at 15. We'll go back now to the 6th. Antonia Powat with her blast out of the bunker on the right side and takes it all the way to the back of the green, and she'll have a long way to go for par here at the 6th. And you see in the background Kate Tron of UTA. She's in the bunker on the other side. Quickly over to the 15 tee, and this is Paula Sabarte of Georgia State hitting her tee shot. Last group of this grouping of schools. And she's happy with that tee ball, as now coming up to the tee is going to be Joe Elias, junior from Jamestown, North Carolina, for Appalachian State. Down to the 15 green. This is Chloe Howard with her birdie putt, but it's going to slide by, and she'll have some work left to do for par here at the par 4. Back to the tee, and this is Elias. 1 over par through her first 3 holes today. We saw her bogey at the 10th, but then parred at the 11th and the 12th. Quickly over to the 6th. And this is Kate Tron. This is her second attempt out of the bunker. She barely got out of the sand the first time, so that was her third shot. So now she'll have this left for bogey. So a tough hole for the freshman from Arlington, Texas. And way back here at the back of the green is Antonia Powat. And she'll have a long putt here. Bottom right of your screen, Melanie Chong with her par putt on the 15th. Chong 1 under through her first 3 today, and a nice par save there. She birdied the par 3 12th hole, so is still under par for her final round. Caroline Burge now will be also trying to save par here. Over at the 6th hole, Antonia Powat. This is a long putt for her par after she had to come out of the bunker. Pretty good speed going down the hill, but it's going to die away to her left, and she'll still have about 5 to 6 feet left for bogey. Marie Lunikova lining up her putt as we go back over to 15, and this is Chloe Howard of Georgia State. Birdie putt here, and she rolls that one in. Back over to 6. This is the birdie putt for Marie Lunikova, and that one's going to slide by and is going to roll a good bit by. So Lunikova will have that left to save par. Kate Tron of UTA rolls in a bogey save there after leaving one in the bunker. She walks away with a bogey as we'll go over to 15. Siti Shari of South Alabama. Siti is 2 under through her first 3 holes today. She birdied both the 11th and the 12th. Par 5 11th and the par 3 12th. And that is Shari's tee ball here at 15. So she hit it a long way as she is right on the fringe on this par 4. This is a drivable hole for the players that are really the long hitters. So she will actually have a run at eagle here at the 15th. Again, this is a drivable par 4. It's listed at 321, but the tee has moved up today a little bit, so it's even shorter than that as the par putt for Antonia Powat slides by, and she's going to have a 3-putt bogey here at the 6th. And Powat be finishing off her 3-putt bogey here, and Marie Lunikova will be trying to save par here at the 6th. Lunikova with another nice par save. She'll stay even par through 6 holes here in the final round. Motioning back to her teammate on the tee box here at 6, and that's Sina Ursoy. They'll be next to hit here at the 6th. In fact, it is Ursoy on the tee. She'll have the honors here at the 6th for Coastal Carolina. She stood tied for 3rd in the individual chase. Right now, she's moved up to 2nd individually behind teammate Malene Krobel-Hansen. Ursov is even par for the day through the first 3. She bogeyed the 2nd, but birdied the 3rd, and barely on the fringe, but bouncing up, and she'll have another run at bogey here at the 6th. Another run at birdie at the 6th after she birdied the par 5 3rd hole. So Ursoy is safely on the green, and now Sarah Harrison. She also has a solid round going. She's even par through 5 holes. We saw her birdie at the 1st and do a little dance. She gave a stroke back at the par 4 5th hole just a moment ago, so she's even par for the day. Harrison's shot coming in, also right on the front fringe. She'll have a little bit more work to do for a birdie, but she'll have a putt at it as that ball's still trickling down. Now it finally comes to a stop as we're going to go back to 15, and this is Siti Shari's tee ball as she has a putt from off the green, and it's a long putt, obviously, but this is for eagles, so she's probably thinking 2-putt birdie here more than anything else. This is the final group that will be coming through at 15 before the players all make the turn over to their back 9. As back on the tee, next up to hit, this is Sydney Garber of UT Arlington. Sydney is struggling today, 4 over so far, but it's got a nice shot here at the 6th, and she has a pretty good run at a birdie here at the par 3. Garber took a double bogey at the 2nd and then bogeyed the 3rd and the 4th. She's coming off a par at the 5th. We'll go back to 15, and this is the eagle run for Siti Shari. And that's a long eagle run. We have not had an eagle in the tournament through the first 2 and almost 2.5 rounds. Probably not thinking eagle. She's probably thinking get it close enough where you can have a tap-in birdie, but she made a pretty good run at it, but now it's going to keep rolling past, and that's what she really didn't want to do, is leave herself a birdie putt of about 7 or 8 feet. And look at Charlie's tee shot. She's going to acknowledge the camera saying, yeah, look where I hit that one. And she did hit that one. She might be small, only 5'1", the freshman from Malaysia, but she got all of that driver as she headed down, and she'll have a birdie putt here in just a minute. But first it will be Paula Sabarte of Georgia State. Just has to tap it to get it going, and hard to stop it, but that's an easy way to stop it. As Paula Sabarte rolling in the birdie from the back fringe. Good thing it hit the pin, because it would have kept rolling as it's going downhill, but she's not going to complain about that one, as Sabarte with the birdie. Shari has a birdie putt in just a minute, and now Joe Elias will have this one. And I don't know if this might be also for birdie, because she was on the far right of the green, had to drop off the cart path, but that might have been her drive. We're going to say this is for birdie, and it's going to come up short and to the left, and she'll have that left for par. We'll stick around here for a second and look at Siti Shari's birdie putt after she, in effect, drove the green here at the short par 4. Number 15 gave up 9 birdies in the first day, 6 more yesterday. Played as the third easiest hole on the course. And it's set up today even more a drivable hole. So we'll see when we get to our leading teams as they get around to the backside. We'll see who pulls out the drivers and tries to drive it as Shari rolls in the birdie putt. So 2 birdies out of this group here at the 15th hole, and gives yet another wave. And she deserves it after that birdie. And final par putt from Joe Elias. Appalachian State rolls that one in, and this group will head on to the 16th as they're getting close to finishing their front 9. And we'll go back to the 6th hole, and this is Sina Ursoy of Coastal Carolina. Couple putts from the front of the green. Ursoy even par through 5 holes today. And there you get a look at Sarah Harrison. Ursoy with a birdie and a bogey and 3 pars through the first 5 holes. Harrison also even par. She's got the same thing. She birdied the first. We saw her birdie at the first hole. Just bogeyed at the par 4 5th hole. So even on the day. Both these players even on the day. Third member of this group, Sydney Garber of Texas Arlington. Sydney's had a little more of a struggle. She's 4 over par through her first 5 holes today. Doubled at the 2nd and then bogeyed at the 3rd and the 4th. These players playing in the number 3 position for their teams. Both Sina Ursoy and Sydney Garber, both with 5 birdies through the first 2 rounds. And of course, Ursoy has added a 6th birdie earlier today. Sarah Harrison opened with a 79, improved to a 76 yesterday, and was tied for 20th coming into today's play. She's bumped it up a little bit. She's currently tied for 17th in the individual chase. And her birdie putt will come up just a little short and left. She'll have a little bit of a tap in for her par. She'll stop and mark for Sina Ursoy. Ursoy had the 4th best average among all the players in the Sun Belt Conference coming into the tournament. She was averaging 74.27, 2.27 over par. She had a low round of 69 earlier this year. She almost matched that yesterday when she shot a 1 over par 70. Going for her 7th birdie of the tournament here, and we'll roll that one in from the front edge. 2nd birdie of the day for Sina Ursoy of Coastal Carolina, and she gets it to red numbers today. She's 1 under par through 6 holes. And now Sydney Garber of Texas Arlington. Off to a slow start. After 2 very solid rounds, had a 74 in the opening round on Sunday. Big bender and rolls that one in for a saving par for Sydney Garber here at the 6th. Sarah Harrison now still to clean up for par. And gets her par putt to roll in the right edge of the pin. And they will move on to the 7th. And we'll go back to the tee here at number 6. It looks like it's Francisca Lunikova of Coastal Carolina that will be first to hit. Reigning Player of the Week in the Sun Belt. Won that honor for April the 12th. And the reason that she did that, she picked up her first win for Coastal Carolina. She shot 3 under 213 at the Charleston Invitational. Had 3 rounds of 72 or less. Her first top 5 finish of the year as her tee ball is on the way and catches the front fringe and rolls onto the putting surface. And she'll pretty much have a straight uphill putt going for birdie here at the 6th. As Bianca Lobauer of Troy will be next up to hit. Bianca is 1 over for the day. Check that, make that now 3 over for the day as she double bogeyed the par 3 4th hole. So she stands at 3 over after also taking a birdie at the 3rd hole, the par 5. Lobauer's tee shot, and that was way off right, and you see the result. And I was just about to say that the players have not flirted with the water on either side so far in the shots that we've seen, but Lobauer's tee ball goes into the drink at the 6th. Madigan Murray of UT Arlington 76-74, 2 solid rounds her first 2 trips around. 74 yesterday. She's currently 2 over for today's round. And that's been just updated. She's now 4 over for today's round, and she took a double bogey at the last par 3. That came at the 4th hole when she took 5, and we saw her double bogey 6 at the first hole earlier. But her tee shot here finds the putting surface. She'll have a long way to go, but she is dry. And she'll have this for what she'll probably hope, looking for a 2-putt par here at the 6th hole. One more group after this one to come through here at the 6th, and then we will be changing locations. We'll head down to the 9th and the 18th holes, and we'll start getting players coming in. As we're just about, we're nearing the halfway point of the final round of the Sunbelt Women's Golf Championships. And it is once again a beautiful day here at the Raven Golf Club in the middle of the Sandestin Golf and Beach Resort. The beaches are about 5-minute drive away from where we are in this sprawling complex. As we see our next to last group, 2 freshmen and a junior, Francisca Lunikova of Coastal Carolina, Madigan Murray of UTA, and the junior Bianca Lobauer of Troy. And Lobauer is over at the drop zone after hitting into the water here at the par 3. So she will be hitting her 3rd shot here from the drop. Lobauer shot 75 in the first round. Struggled a little bit more yesterday, shot 79. Junior from Paarl, South Africa, has been in the top 11 2 straight years in the conference championships. Her freshman year in 2016, she finished 5th. Shot 73, 78, 74, 225, and that was here at the Raven course. She finished 11th last year up at Muscle Shoals. She shot 70, 75, 76, 221. And yes, that's right. Her 5th place score was 4 strokes higher here than her 11th place score last year because, I mean, to be honest, this is a lot more difficult golf course than the course that the ladies played last year up at Muscle Shoals. The Raven, depending on the setup, can be a real test, and not just for the women's squads. It'll be a real test for the men when they begin play in the Conference Men's Championships, and that will be Sunday. And it'll also have all that action right here. Lobauer's going to take her time here in the drop zone as she is already looking at bogey if she can get up and down. So open, yes, she does have. She'll take a look again through the rangefinder and get the exact yardage. And rangefinders are legal for use in college golf, as they are in most amateur golf now. And you can place it in the drop zone as she'll get set to hit her 3rd. Found the water on the right side with her tee shot. And so now we'll be trying to get this one close to walk away with bogey. Lobauer's 3rd shot with the wedge. Finds the putting surface, backs up onto the fringe, but it'll stay up, and she'll have that left a long run to try to save 4 here. And And she'll jump in the cart and get the shuttle around. As we'll say one more time, it's a pretty good hike from the tee. You see our shot from behind the tee. Shot looking out toward the green at the 6th hole. But there's no direct way to get there. You can see on the left side of your screen the carts that are heading down the path on the far left side. You have to go over to the carts, which is pretty good ways from the tee. It's a big loop around. You have to loop around the back of the lake where you see the fountain on the left side of the screen. And then you have to come back to the green. And then once you get there, it's a full island green, and the only access is through a spectator bridge that is at the back of it. You can't see it from here, but it's back there. It takes a while to get from tee to green, and that's why they're shuttling players here at the 6th hole. This hole is more designed to be played by electric cart than the walkers, but conference tournament, of course, the players will walk all the way. So they'll get a little bit of a break here and also pick up some time and try to keep pace of play going as some of the folks now reaching the number 6 green. The next to last group is making their way up here at the 6th, and our last group of this grouping of schools is already up on the tee. And we'll have to see. They might get the players to mark their ball and hit their tee shots again to try to speed up that pace. We'll see. They have not done that so far today through the groups that we have seen, but yesterday a lot of the players were, if the groups were on the tee ready to hit, the groups down near the green would mark their ball and clear out of the way and let them hit their tee shots, and while they were making their way up to the green, the group on the green would go ahead and putt out. It's Madigan Murray of Texas Arlington who's going over taking a look from behind the flagstick. And Bianca Lobauer asked him to go ahead and pull the flag, even though she is off the fringe. She could have left the flag if she wanted to, but she wanted to go ahead and pull it out. Beginning next year, in the new rules that have been passed by the USGA and the RNA in Scotland, players won't have to pull the flag even if they're on the green. They can leave the flag in. And it will be interesting to see how that will change speed of play around the greens and see if players will actually leave the flag in. Can be a help, it can be a hindrance. Lobauer's going to take a look at this one from all angles that she possibly can, as this is for bogey already as she hit her tee ball in the water. Had to drop and hit her third, so this will be her 4th shot here at the par 3. Lobauer's long putt from the side is going to come up a little bit short. She'll actually got a little bit past the hole as she'll mark, and she'll have that left for a double bogey. Disappointing hole for Bianca Lobauer, as now Madigan Murray from this side. Murray right now tied for 13th in the individual chase. She is 4 over par today. She's got a couple of double bogeys on her card. She was tied for 6th going into play today. Saw on the graphic her grandfather played baseball at Fordham. got a lot of athletic interest in her background. Look at her roll in this putt. Madigan Murray from just on the fringe rolls in a long birdie putt here at number 6. So that'll give her a little bit of a jump start after those early double bogeys. Talked about her grandfather playing baseball at Fordham. Her aunt played softball at Penn State and Indiana State. So a lot of collegiate athletic background in her family. As a view from the tee of Frantiska Lunikova. And now back from behind the green as she'll have a long birdie putt. She'll be trying to emulate what Madigan Murray just did for UTA. And she's going to give it a run, and she lips it out. She got a good look, followed the same line, and her putt just lipped out here at the 6th hole. So Murray will finish off with a par, what could have been a birdie, and you see her shaking her head a little bit in frustration. That one almost went in for back-to-back long birdie putts. And now Bianca Lobauer will try to finish off a double bogey here as she found the water with her tee shot. Lobauer was tied for 15th coming into today. She's now tied for 24th as she's 3 over par with a bogey and a double bogey on the 3rd and 4th holes. And now she'll take a triple here at the par 3 6th as she'll take the 3-putt. And a very disappointing hole for Lobauer. Troy still stands in 2nd place in the team standings, and they got a pretty good bulge over Georgia Southern. They're 10 strokes ahead of Georgia Southern in the battle for 2nd place. And updating that now, that's a 12-stroke advantage as Coastal Carolina leading by 27 in the team race right now as we're halfway through the 3rd and final round. And it'll be Ava Schwintek of UT Arlington that has the honors here at the 6th for our final group coming through here at number 6. And her tee shot's going to be on the fringe, goes down that little bit of the swale there, but she'll be dry and she'll have at least a straight run at her birdie. Lindsey Harrison of Troy will be next to hit. Lindsey was 2nd coming into today's play as far as the individual race, and she's still tied for 3rd, 2 over par, and does not have a par yet on her card. She doubled the 1st, bogeyed the 2nd and 4th, but birdied the 3rd and the 5th. So she's got 2 birdies, two bogeys, and a double bogey. And trouble in the front as her tee shot is going to come up short. Don't know if it rolled back in the water. Don't see any ripples yet, so at least that much. So back to the tee, and Malene Krobel Hansen, still our individual leader. 1 over for the day. She birdied the 3rd, but then double bogeyed the par 3 4th hole, and that is her first double bogey of the tournament. So trying to shake that off here. And this one's also a little bit short, but it's rolling back down the embankment, but it looks like it's going to stay dry. So players will be making their way up here to the green at number 6. And just a reminder again, as soon as this group finishes here at the 6th, we will be resetting to our final locations at the 9th and the 18th holes, where we will have the remainder of play here in the 3rd and final round. As you see, our last group coming through here at number 6, the senior Malene Krobel Hansen of Coastal Carolina, the junior Lindsey Harrison from Troy, and a freshman Ava Schwintek of UTA. We think that Lindsey Harrison's ball here at number 6 might have plugged into the side of the bunker, so have to wait and see when she gets up close to her ball, but it is probably going to be a difficult second shot for the junior. As our players will shuttle up in the cart here at the 6th.
I assumed it stayed up. Yeah, she's walking past the drop zone, so she must be fine.
And it will probably not be long before here at the 6th hole we'll have our twosomes that started out on the 10th hole will be making their way around. They'll still have some time. The groups that started at 7:30, they've been playing about 3 hours, so they'll be getting close, but they'll still have pretty good break before they'll get here to the 6th. And we will take a break as we reset and move to the 9th and the 18th holes after these players finish here at the 6th. And as soon as we do complete play here today, we will be crowning our team and individual champions. You can see a lot more coverage of that. You can also see the final scoring. And all that is available online, both at golfstat.com and on the Sunbelt Conference site at sunbeltsports.org, where you can see a lot of other information on the Women's Golf Championships. And those final scores and the official scores will be available about 20 minutes after play is concluded today. And you'll also, later on this evening, you'll be able to see video of the final presentations, and we'll hope at the end of our tournament, before we leave our live coverage, to get a chance to get an interview with the winning coaches. Right now, the odds are on an interview with Katie Quinney, the head coach of Coastal Carolina, as her team is solidly in front in the team race. And right now, in fact, on the current live stats, they're leading by 27 strokes. As you see, this is Ava Schweintek, who is in I don't know if that's a sprinkler hole or not. I'm sure she'll get a drop out of there. I would think she would get a drop down in the swale, and yes, she's marking it, and she'll take a drop on that. Looks like a sprinkler head or something that's got created a swale there next to the green. And most right now just trying to determine the angle that she can go out at to take her drop at. Players do get relief on something like that without a penalty. And you see in the background while she does that, this is Lindsey Harrison, and her ball is plugged up, and she just caught sand with her practice swing as she lost her balance, and that might incur a penalty for catching the sand with what amounts to a practice swing. But we'll leave that up to the rules officials. Don't know if she lost her balance there or not, but she was buried up and having to blast out. Actually came out a lot better than I thought she might with the lie that we thought that she had. So she'll have that left for par, and then we'll see what happened, unless she might have just hacked it out of the plug to get it to roll back in the bunker. But we'll have to wait and see what happened there. On the far side of the green, Malene Krobel-Hansen, our current individual leader. She'll be chipping up for her second shot here at the par 3. 73-69 her first two rounds. She did have a double bogey at the fourth as she chips this one up, taking advantage of the hill, and this is going to roll down a really nice shot from below the hole for Krobel-Hansen, and she'll have that left for par. As she'll mark and clear the way for Schweintek, who dropped out of the Or, yes, she did drop back behind. I assume that is a sprinkler head or something down there that created a small swale. Players got relief from that. She'll be chipping her second shot. Schweintek is 2 over par through her first 5 today. She bogeyed the first and second holes. We saw her bogey back at the first, but then she strung 3 pars together from the third through the fifth. So Schweintek will have, looks like she's got the putter in her hand, so the indention there must not be in the line of her putt, so she'll have a run at it. This will be just her second shot, as she did get relief out of there. This is the final grouping of the threesomes here for this set of schools, and as soon as they do finish play, we'll be heading to numbers 9 and 18, where we will close out our coverage today. Long putt for Schweintek. Going up the hill, and it's going to slide by and going to roll well past, so she'll have that left for par. Turn back the direction of the pin just a little bit. Lindsey Harrison, who was in the bunker in the front, blasted out to here, so we'll assume that this is for par. Harrison currently tied for third in the individual race. And if she can roll this in, it will be her first par of the day. She's got a colorful card, a couple of birdies, a couple of bogeys, and a double bogey through her first 5 holes. We saw her double bogey at the first when she had to play out of a bunker on the left side and left it in the bunker and had to hit her third shot also from there. But here trying to save par, putting it down the hill, and it's going to roll past, and it's going to keep rolling. Tough putt from up there when you're above the hole. And she looks a little frustrated right now. This will be Ava Schweintek. Came into the tournament ranked 12th in the conference scoring average-wise, 75.7. She's got an individual win this year. She stood 5th in the individual race coming into today. Slides that one past, and so hard to keep it close to the hole here. That pin location is right in the middle of a pretty good slope. You can't really tell it from here on screen. It looks almost flat, but let me tell you, it's not. As all 3 of the players went past and will have to come back up the hill. A little bit easier coming back up the hill at it, as Moline Krobel-Hansen will be trying to salvage par here. So par for our individual leader. She'll keep that individual lead. She, in fact, now leads by 4 shots over her teammate, Sina Ursoy, who's moved into second place individually. And Lindsey Harrison, who was tied for third, but she's going to drop at least 1 more stroke to par here, as this is her 4th, and rolls it in quickly. And now Schweintek will also be trying to match that putt, except hers is for par. No, actually, I'm sorry. This is for bogey because she was behind that little swale on the right side, putted past it, and then came back to here. So trying to save bogey here. So nice saving putt for Ava Schweintek of UT Arlington, and they will move on to number 7, and we will move forward here on the course here at the Raven. We're going to take a break as we reset things, and we will be moving to our final locations at the 9th hole and the 18th hole, where we'll bring you our final coverage from this year's Women's Golf Championships, and we will return with that action from the 9th and from the 18th in just a little bit. As you're watching, make sure to stay tuned and continue watching our coverage of the Sun Belt Conference Women's Golf Championship live from the Raven Golf Club here at Miramar Beach.